The last time we brought you a feature on Toyota's off-road icon, it was at the end of its life cycle. Well, little did we know that just 3.5 years later, we'd see its return. The legendary, all-new Toyota Land Cruiser is next on 0 to 60 TV by LeithCars.com.
Hey guys, Alan Broughton here, General Sales Manager at Leith Toyota. I'm excited to have Mark Arson here with us, as well as my sales consultant, Fred. They're gonna go over the new 2024 Land Cruiser. It's gonna be a great time.
So Fred, I thought it would be appropriate to start with what's under the hood of the all-new Land Cruiser, right?
Yep, so we have a brand new powertrain for the Land Cruiser. It is an iForce Max. It produces 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. And that is also while getting an impressive 23 miles to the gallon. This is a turbocharged 4-cylinder hybrid. So that gets you the instant torque on the low end, which is what is necessary for off-roading.
And it tows up to 6,000 pounds,
That's
right?
correct, definitely.
You know, styling-wise, let's start up front here with the round headlamps. Are these going to be on all the trim levels, or what's the difference here?
So these round headlights are usually on the 1958 trim, but right here we have a very rare first edition. So you get the round headlights from the 1958, but you also get some of the other features from the Land Cruiser edition. This is based off of the Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 series and the 60 and the 70 series, all combined to create this. It's inspiration from all of the Land Cruisers.
The overall shape being kind of long and boxy is kind of like that 60 series from the 1980s, right?
Correct.
But then you got the round headlights, which bring in the famous FJ40. That's really when it kind of, you know, made a name for itself. And then you mentioned like the 70 series when we get around to the back of this new Land Cruiser, right?
Definitely, there's a lot of heritage inside of this one vehicle.
And this is, I believe you said, a very rare version. Now, why is this so rare?
So this is the Land Cruiser First Edition, and each dealership is only getting one.
So it's one of how many?
So it's approximately 5,000. 5,000,
okay. So we've got delivery number one of the new Land Cruiser. They all, don't they have full-time four-wheel drive?
That's correct. They all have full-time four-wheel drive, and they also come with, which is brand new, a sway bar disconnect.
So Fred, little trivia question for you. Why do they call the entry level of the new Land Cruiser the 1958?
So they call it the 1958 because that's when the Land Cruiser first had come to the United States.
Yep. How many Land Cruisers did Toyota sell in the US in 1958?
Oh man, that's a trick question.
Internet sleuths can prove me wrong, but I believe it's one. Toyota sold one in 1958.
Wow, interesting.
So the 1958 version, but we're going to sell a lot more 1958s.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be way more than just one.
Yeah. And that entry level, you get cloth seats. This whole vehicle is really taking it back to its roots, right? It's not so much what it had grown to be, the luxury, not so much taking it off-road, although it was totally capable. One of the most capable off-road vehicles in the world. Fred, so what do we have here on the lower front?
Right here we have a front-facing camera, which is ideal for off-roading, and it's also part of your panoramic view monitor. The panoramic view monitor, or 360 camera, automatically turns on at 7 to 10 miles per hour or less. So when you're driving at those low speeds, or even when you're off-roading, you can see everything that's around you.
And I can tell you, as the owner of an off-road vehicle, I wish I had a camera like that on the front of mine. I do not, because sometimes you're taking angles over hills and you cannot see what's over the
Absolutely.
Over the other side of that hump. So having that camera there is indispensable.
Definitely, it's risky business.
All right, now this is a feature that I really love. You've got two different shades that you can switch inside the Land Cruiser.
Yes, the colors are interchangeable between the white or the yellow with these Rigid Industries fog lights.
Yeah, so the white light, is good for regular driving, but let's say weather conditions, or gets a little foggy or whatever, you can switch to the yellow.
Definitely, in low visibility situations, this color is ideal for seeing.
All right, so let's go down the side and tell us what we got here that's kind of stand out. I noticed it's got a lot of lug nuts. That means it's a sturdy vehicle, right?
Definitely, definitely. When you're off-roading, you want lug nuts, and you don't want few of them. Mostly because if you're off-roading, you don't want the rim to come off the tire.
Yeah, yep.
And what you also get, and this is something exclusive on the first edition, you get some mud guards down here that are labeled on the rear first edition. Again, heritage inspired is you get these square or rectangular mirrors. You also, if you come around here, you get a roof rail. That's
yep.
Also standard on the first edition.
And the air deflector on the front of it there.
Definitely, definitely. All right, and this is where you start seeing some of that 70 series inspiration is back here in the taillights.
And also, you know, Fred, now tell me if this is kind of heritage inspired. I believe it is, but on the front and on the rear, you actually have Toyota spelled out. You don't have the current modern Toyota, you know, emblem. You have the lettering spelled out, right? Just like they used to do it.
Correct, correct.
Well, hey, since we're back at the tailgate, why don't we start with the interior? What does it look like back here?
So if you are camping, there is one cool little feature here is that if you press this, you can easily access the rear through the glass without having to open the entire lift gate.
Nice, I saw that. I didn't know what that button did. That's very cool.
All right, this is something that's also really cool feature about the Land Cruiser. You have a 24-watt inverter that is back here. So if you do have some sort of items that need to be powered and you're not near any sort of power source, you can use your Land Cruiser as a way of getting power.
Yeah, so anything that you've got, like say a regular household plug type device, you can plug it in right there with your three-prong grounded outlet. And the seats are 60-40 split folding.
Yep, 60-40 split.
Yeah.
And you also have a bit of a first aid kit right here, just
cool.
in case you need it. And it is Velcro.
Velcroed.
So you can...
Ah, nice. Let's hop inside. Well, Fred, I see the Toyota Heritage logo placement is carried through to the interior.
Absolutely.
With, yeah, the spelled out name on the steering wheel. What else do we have in here that's super cool and unique to the Land Cruiser?
It comes standard with full-time four-wheel drive. And you have the difference between 4-high and 4-low right here. Mm-hmm. You could also lock your center differential and your rear differential. That's, again, critical for off-roading when you're on loose terrain. You have your stabilizer bar disconnect, so you can have as much tire touching the ground as possible. When you're off-roading, the more tires you have touching the ground, the better.
How about the MTS? What is that?
So that is your multi-terrain select. So this will manipulate your traction control system so you can get as much traction as possible in a given setting. So whether you're in rock or sand or just loose gravel,
Gotcha.
It will change the traction control system to deal with that terrain as best as it can. So when you press the multi-terrain select button, you can now go through each mode: dirt, sand, mud, and deep snow.
Oh, that's great.
Down here, you also have your crawl control. And you see, crawl control also manipulates the traction control and stability control system. You see a bunch of these lights have come off. Again, you don't want these safety features getting in the way when you're off-roading, especially if you're in a very sticky situation. It can be a little too intrusive and you won't be able to get out of your sticky situation.
How about up here? What do we have for nice creature comforts?
Right, so we do have your typical dual zone climate. All the switches here are designed by Toyota to look a little bit more rugged. Yeah, so you have your heated and ventilated seats. You have your heated steering wheel. Again, you can adjust your climate with these controls right here.
And is that mode select?
Yeah, that's for your drive mode.
That's for your drive modes, yeah.
So you have your eco, normal, and sport mode.
What does our storage here look like in the center?
We have our center console here, and there is something really cool about the Land Cruiser.
Yep.
You get a cool box.
Oh, yes.
So you can store anything cold to keep it cold So let's just say it's a hot day, you need to store some water, you want it to be nice and cold.
Yep.
You can do that right here. Or even if you're overlanding. Of course, not many resources around you, and it's very hard to cool anything if you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
So this is definitely coming in handy if you want something nice and cold to drink while you're out overlanding.
Now, I'm guessing, Fred, in this first edition, this comes with it.
Yes.
Is this available in the other two trims?
It's available on the Land Cruiser trim.
The Land Cruiser,
Yes.
not the 1958.
Correct.
And then you've got your video monitor.
Yeah, digital rearview mirror.
So you can make it a standard rear view mirror, right?
Absolutely.
Reflective, but you know, for a vehicle like this, or you've got a bunch of gear in the back, it would block the mirror because it's looking through the interior. So that camera in the tailgate window gives you the perfect view, unobstructed.
Yes.
Did I sell that right?
You did. You sound exactly right. And if you look, press this view button right here.
Oh man.
You can now see everything around you. It's like a holographic view from your vehicle.
And it's actually showing you through the tires, showing you where things are. Wow. And I know that comes in handy off-road because you can see if there's something next to the vehicle to stay away from.
Correct, correct.
Awesome. And I believe I can charge my phone right here on the pad.
That's correct.
And then we've also got 3 USB-C ports.
That's correct, 3 up front. So that way you can use, if necessary, if something goes wrong with your app, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, you can still, or if your phone doesn't support it,
Yep.
you can still use it through this port right here. And you have 2 fast charge ports over here for just charging in general.
Fred, that was an awesome tour of this 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. Thank you so much.
No problem. It was awesome. It was fun.
Well, man, I'm ready to take this thing off-road, but we can't because this is the first edition and the customer is going to be picking it up real soon. So happy trails, and thank you for watching 0 to 60 TV. I'm Mark Arson for LeithCars.com.